Welcome to this pre-recorded property wealth portfolio workshop. In this video, we'll guide you step by step through everything our property portfolio service offers to prospective clients. You'll get a full understanding of how we operate and how our proven strategies have enabled our clients to succeed in property investment. We'll also touch on the credibility of our founder, Dr. Daniel Moses, as well as the remarkable growth and achievements of our organization over the past 7 years. Since embarking on this journey, we've successfully completed over 30 projects since 2019 alone. This masterclass was originally conducted with a group of individuals eager to expand their property portfolios, and due to its popularity, we've decided to upload on this channel for you. So if you're considering attending one of our live sessions in the future, this is your perfect opportunity to get a sneak peek of what to expect. During the live workshops, you'll be able to ask questions and explore how our team can assist you as your trusted consultants. Our unique service is designed to help you dive into property investment without needing to dedicate extensive time or effort. We take care of 90% of the process, leaving you involved only 10% of the time. Whether it's a standard residential purchase or a large-scale commercial development, our simplified approach using the buy, refurbish, refinance strategy or buy, refurbish, refinance and sell strategy ensures results.
Today's masterclass is for the portfolio building side of what we do. So this is for a select group of people who are investors themselves. So this is purely for investors. So if you are someone that is sitting minimum 50k with 50 to 70 at the bottom end, you are either a homeowner with equity in your home. You're looking for a result in property. You're not looking for a course, you're not looking for education, you are looking for someone to essentially go out there into the marketplace who are experiencing the BRR strategy. So buy, refurbish, rent, refinance, repeat. Yeah. So for investors, minimum to 50 to 70k, looking for a hands-off, hassle-free service to do the BRR strategy. You could have the cash liquid, you could have it equity in your home, or you could have a really strong network in which you have access to funds yourself and you're looking to be quite creative and get someone to do the work for you. The guys that have joined us on the call, you're probably quite familiar with who we are, Property Wealth. We are a company that you've probably seen across social media doing very, very big things. The company itself has got several arms of the business, as you may be familiar from the management side of what we do. That's where Dr. Daniel started. The portfolio building side of the business. And also we have the education or club side of the business, in which we have a community. Essentially, we have one main principle fostered around wealth creation. That is what we're here to do for the company and for the people that we work with and have in our club. This is again back to the several arms of the business. In terms of where Property Wealth started, if you've been following our story, you would have seen Dr. Daniel Moses started the company 7 years ago. He used to be an Uber driver, so always been an entrepreneur. 7 years ago, he was driving Uber and he went down the rent-to-rent strategy and very successful, and then into acquisition. And you would have seen him doing some quite impressive things in terms of being on TV, different parts of the world, sharing stages with incredible speakers, which I'll go into now. So this is the founder and CEO of Property Wealth, Dr. Daniel Moses. As mentioned, he didn't have such an esteemed network just a few years ago. Here you see him with dignitaries, MPs. He's currently in Ghana doing large-scale talks. He's on Sky TV on the property channel. Really well respected within the property space and business space, and also from what we're seeing now in terms of the network that he's fostering and growing, also the upper echelons of society in terms of ex-presidents and people in quite influential positions. So this is just going back to where we started. In 2020, we launched the education side of our business. That's performed incredibly well. In the last 4 years, we've helped our community create a portfolio in the region of £4 million. That's just in terms of acquisition. There's a whole host of people that have created cash flows from property in the region of 7 figures in revenues. Just one person alone has pretty much a 7-figure rent-to-rent business alongside several others. So we've done extremely well. But what we did commonly notice, people do get rather inspired about the education side of things. But the reality, in terms of sitting down, getting through the course, the content, and then executing on what we teach alongside their own personal schedules in terms of, as mentioned, work, family commitments, and what have you, people weren't getting things done as they wished. They lacked the time. Life was getting in the way. The knowledge wasn't cemented, and also they didn't have the correct team around them like we do. So this is where we have put together the passive investment service that we do offer as a portfolio service. So this is purely for people that are looking for a result. As I've mentioned, if you are an investor with funds readily available to deploy into the property market, and this is the masterclass for you. Essentially, we provide a one-stop shop consultancy service. So it's end to end in terms of what we can do for you from the very beginning to acquisition, to the refurbishment, the refinance, and the renting. The involvement or effort from the investor is pretty much 10%, and we do all the heavy lifting, all the hard work. So in terms of strategies, we cover the entire breadth of strategies and also across the country. So deals in London, up all the way in the Midlands, Leeds, Yorkshire. Do a lot of activity in the northeast, in and around the Newcastle area, and also across the northwest. We're talking your Manchesters and whatnot. So we have no preference on location. Ultimately, the service that we're offering is purely down to what is best for the investor. Now, in terms of strategies, if you're familiar with property or property education, in some sense, you may be familiar with some of the strategies that we offer. So the single lets, HMOs, supported living, service accommodation, care homes, residential acquisitions, and also we do commercial conversions, which I'm working on two at the moment for two separate clients. Whilst we're in the chat, whilst we're on this masterclass, it'd be good to hear from you guys in the chat. If you are an investor, if you can put in the chat for me what strategy you're currently looking to focus on or need support with in terms of your portfolio building. Are you looking to get your first single let? Have you got somewhat of a portfolio and you're looking to get into HMOs that are a bit more capital intensive but also reap larger rewards? Or are you looking to go at the upper ends and go down the commercial conversion side of things? So in terms of how the service works, it's a few simple steps. First is getting to know you. So property investment varies person to person, property to property. So we firstly need to identify who you are and what it is you're looking for. And this can have a range of factors involved in terms of your current home ownership, the level of funds you have available, your tolerance to risk, etc., etc. That's why what we offer here today is a very personalized, one-to-one tailored service. So it's ultimately all dependent on you, the investor, what you're working with, and what your financial and wealth creation objectives are. Once we have a clear focus on that, and you have it has come to light that we are the people that can help you achieve that, we can get you from sitting on liquid funds or having equity in your home or having a strong network of cash rich individuals to actually executing and creating wealth through the BRR strategy in whatever area of property you wish it to be. Once we've gotten to know you and we're working together, we will then go out to the market and find you the ideal property from the entire country. We find your property, we do all the analysis, we'll go wherever we have to go in terms of trains, we'll book accommodation, get cars, a rental car in the area, take videos of all the potential options that we've been exploring, send them over to you alongside the analysis to get your approval, and then we strike a deal with the agents that we have in the area. A lot of the deals I've been doing recently, which I'm going to show you a little bit later, they have come directly from the people that we've been working with or those in our network already. So this is an advantage that we have compared to someone that is just starting out or isn't well versed or connected. We get a lot of activity in terms of agents or direct to vendor or through people that we have in our finance team bringing us deals, and we just basically connect them to people like yourselves, the investor. Once we strike that deal, we then move you through the entire process in terms of getting you connected with the accountants for company setup if you require. Also instructing our power team of solicitors to get this through for you as quick as possible. And then raising finance. So if you do require anything like a development loan or bridging finance, we connect you to our power team that makes it happen. Most of the transactions that I'm doing for clients do involve a bridging loan. So we make that seamless, and we also advise you the best steps forward to make sure you're in the strongest position to secure your lending. And that is just from a bit of creativity and know-how and experience by doing this time and time again. As you're moving through the legal process, we are liaising with build teams we have in various areas to create a schedule of works. So this will be the construction side of it. We then attain several different quotes to get the most competitive and most skilled builders within our relevant teams across the country. We get them booked in for you. So essentially, as soon as you complete on your purchase, within days, you will have a team beginning the construction for your property. We manage the entire process of construction, so the entire project management week by week, providing you regular and consistent updates about how your build's coming along. And once it's completed, we will then begin the refinance process, and lastly, the rental side. So your asset is now bringing you in an income, and the initial funds that you put into the deal have been returned to you at a minimum level of 50%. So if you put in 100,000, minimum, worst case, you'd be expecting back £50,000. A lot of our clients, we are achieving levels of 60, 70, 80%, which gives them significant funds to then start their next project. So yeah, in terms of why trust us, why would you want to work with us? Well, we've helped build a GDV of £11 million in just the last 4 years. 7 million is our personal company portfolio, and then £4 million for our community. So we're well versed in construction. These are some of the projects that we've done. I'm going to show you some live deals later on. So yeah, that's long story short. This is what we're offering in terms of getting you a result. If you've been following us online, you've probably seen some of the projects that I've been working on personally alongside Dr. Daniel for ourselves and for clients. You may notice we're in all parts of the country, from the northwest, northeast, and in London. So yeah, what I'm going to do now, just run through some case studies. At present, do we have any questions from anyone on in terms of the portfolio services? Anything not clear, or do you need more clarity? Everyone all good?
Yep.
Okay. Previn, question?
No, fine. Carry on.
Happy? Yeah, so in terms of the deals that we're doing, here's just an example. I'll show you some live case studies shortly. if you're looking for a single let, a big strategy we follow down is modernizing a 2-bed, modernize a 3-bed, or converting. So bringing a 2-bed into a 3-bed. Here's an example: purchase for 70, refurbishment cost 40, additional fees, and then the revaluation of 145. So the property's more than doubled in value. Here's a HMO transaction: initial purchase 430, refurb 152, so fairly significant in terms of refurbishment costs. End valuation of 700 on this, and here's some of the additional fees. So by doing this strategy, it puts an investor in a position in which they're not, imagine you've worked a significant amount of time, you've got together 50, 70, 100,000 pounds. The most common investment strategy for those that don't know what they're doing would be just to buy a property, park up all their funds, and then wait maybe 3, 5, 6, 7 years before they've received significant income and significant capital appreciation to refinance and then go again. And we've got quite an extensive track record. This one, for example, 450 purchase, 220 spend, 950,000 pound revaluation. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to show you some live deals. Quasi or Previn, any questions on this in particular?
No, fine.
Yeah, not a problem.
No.
Quick question whilst you're on the call in Quasi and Previn, in terms of the kind of deals you'd be looking for, is it more the single lets, HMOs, commercial conversions?
For me, single lets.
Mine
Yeah,
would
so
be,
you're looking for your first buy to let.
Yeah.
mine would be
Okay,
HMOs or conversions. That's what interests me.
understood. And just out of curiosity, in terms of have you bought property before then? Have you
I
is this,
bought, sorry, I bought a property about 8 years ago. I renovated it myself, and yes, that's the only project I've actually done hand on my own.
okay, so you've got one under your belt, so now you're looking into do HMO
That's right, yeah.
or conversion.
Yeah.
Okay, not a problem. So you'd like what we're doing at the moment. So in terms of one of the deals that I'm working on, can you see this okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of this is a purchase that we're doing in Greater Manchester. So it's a rundown building. It used to be an ex-bank. It's a commercial conversion we're doing. We've bought in this condition. In terms of the layout, here's just one set of floor plans, but there's a commercial on the ground floor, then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rooms. There's 14 rooms in total in the commercial space. We've purchased this. It was on the market for 395. We've purchased it for 350. In terms of what we're looking to do, we do need to go backwards before we can move forwards on it. So this particular transaction, previous builder went bust. We've taken on a project. We've got a 50k discount. This actually come to us from an agent we'd bought one from already. In terms of the income per room, you'd be looking at £600 per room. So across 15 units, 14 plus 1 commercial, the gross income is £108,000. Now, Previn, yourself,
Yeah.
do you understand commercial valuations?
No, not really.
So commercial valuations are essentially income valuations based off income.
Okay.
So on this particular deal, we are estimating a refurb cost in the region of £300,000.
Mm-hmm.
On the valuation side, the valuer will be looking at the income. So £108,000 gross per annum, less expenses, times a multiplier. The multiplier we're targeting is a 10 times multiplier. So we're looking for a valuation in the region of 850 to 950,000.
Okay.
I wanted to just ask you a question. How much money do you think the investor needed for this particular transaction?
No idea. No idea.
So in terms of this particular transaction, it is the investor's first venture into property investment. They would not have been able to or have the courage to do a transaction like this without our assistance.
Sure.
So we're currently going through legals, speaking to architects, builders, etc. Now, in terms of capital required, they need in the region of about 115,000, 120,000.
For conversion.
And that, well, this is where the creativity comes into play that people may not be aware of themselves, and this is why they work with us and our expertise. So in our power team, our finance partners, we're putting together development finance.
Okay.
So because of the valuation, we are getting lending for the construction.
Right.
All the investor needs is working capital. So they will be lent £300,000 for the construction, and also they will be borrowing the 75% for the acquisition.
Okay.
They will require an additional £50,000 as working capital, so that £300,000 for the construction can be sent across in periodically in tranches. We are then going to raise £50,000 because they've only got the capital for the deposit. We're going to raise the capital within our network and our club for them, so then they can borrow the £300,000 to do the construction. So this is where the value in the service comes in, because they wouldn't, firstly, they wouldn't be able to take on a project of this magnitude. One, they wouldn't even know it's possible. Plus, we'll have the relationship with the finance partners to get this done. Also, I know about the commercial valuation, and they would also be struggling to raise £50,000 working capital, and that's where we've come in to show our value for them to help them get this done. Yeah. Within Greater Manchester, we're doing a similar transaction on a smaller scale. So this is an old office building. This one's going to be a 7 to 10 bed HMO. Similar story. Previn, is this the kind of deals you'd be looking to do yourself?
That's what interests me. Yes, very much.
Yeah. So is purely based on the income, the refinance?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just pull open a sheet, because I've got an example of how that would look. So roughly speaking, just share one more document with you. As you'd be quite interested in this one yourself, I'll just share one more Excel with you, Previn, just to give you an indication of how this might work. Can you see this one?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is the commercial conversion. This is the initial outline. This is based on purchasing it. We've got a £50,000 reduction in this. We've just had so we've instructed the QS to go observe the condition, and we're potentially looking to negotiate it down even further. The way we'd be able to do this is essentially because we do have quite a strong relationship with that agent. They're going to be fighting our corner as well.
Yeah, sure.
Refurb initially estimated at 250. Of course, the income's based off 15 units. So this is how we normally set things up.
Okay.
Worst case, mid case, and best. So this is 500 times 15. That would be the worst case, so £7,500 per month gross. Best case rent on the worst case example, 600. So annually, you'd be looking at roughly incomes of around about £70,000 to £85,000. Based on that, you'd be looking to get a 10x multiplier on a commercial valuation. So valuation in the region of 850. In this particular transaction, worst case, they'd be looking to about 86% of their funds back.
Yeah.
Similar story as we go for the mid to best case, but I just wanted to show you. So once we get this kind of initial outline, we then speak to our finance partners to bring a bit more accuracy to it, to then calculate the running costs and other details. They're essentially going to get a huge proportion of their invested funds back, and they're also going to get an income that is equivalent to a UK salary.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yep.
This one in particular, next, we've got some buy-to-let deals for Quasi. Quasi, you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Quasi. So look, here's an example of a BRR buy-to-let. So this is one we purchased in the Northeast. So we initially was forecasting a purchase of £85,000. The agent that we have in the area managed to help us get this secured for 74. A refurbishment that we're doing is 35k, and we're looking to get an end value between 130, 160. So in terms of how this project started, so this is what it looked like at the start, if you can see that. So we had the bathroom through here, bedroom, and then bedroom. And then this is the schedule of works that we put in together for it to collaborate with our build team in the area. And in terms of what we've done, this is about to complete. This is finished within on Wednesday. Can you see my WhatsApp, Quasi?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, so I'm just going to find the photos for this particular project. So this is what this property looks like right now. So this was a week or so ago. So here is the living room. We moved this kitchen into the dining room, and then we've created a back door entrance here. And then we split this kitchen into 2 rooms. So we created a utility room and then a bathroom. There's a bathroom, there's a utility room. So that's things like a washing machine would go in there. And then upstairs, this is where we got really creative. So see on the upper floor, you've got the bathroom, you've got a small little lobby before the bathroom. We knocked that entirely through and created a bedroom. The only thing we really have to do in this room is change this frosted glass to clear. And then we've got bedroom number 3. In this bedroom, this is the second bedroom. We had a surprise for the client in the master bedroom, and this is where we really get creative and really push the value up for our clients, because this is exactly what this kind of project we do ourselves. There's a bit of pipe work that needed to be done in this room, but plastered, fresh coat of paint. In the master bedroom is where the magic happens per se. So we created an ensuite for the master. This is really going to make it stand out on the revaluation, and especially make it attractive to the rental market and also command premium rentals. So yeah, bathroom's nearly finished. Really happy with how it's come along. I think that's going to be ready in. Yes, it's ready now. We're getting revalued in the next few days. In terms of the numbers, Quasi, can you see this particular spreadsheet?
Yeah, I can. I can.
Yeah. So realistically speaking, this investor, I personally think this could get a valuation of 160, 170, because the area that we've invested in has really shot up just in the last few months alone. Some properties literally around the corner because it's near a beach. The agent was telling us some properties on the beachfront have sold for 300,000, and the beach is literally about a 5-minute walk from the doorstep. This investor has put in £70,000 of their money into this transaction. So it's £74,000 purchase, additional costs including auction fees, which are broken down over here, stamp duty, and then you've got we took out a bridging loan for the purchase, which is a breakdown over here. Plus the building costs of 35. They've put in £70,000 at a revaluation of 130. They're going to get £42,000 back. So 60% of their initially invested funds at the worst case is what they're going to see. If we go more towards the mid case, yeah, so can you imagine with that kind of funds returned back to them, they're in a position to essentially go again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the magic of the BRR strategy.
Okay.
This is the mid case example. A valuation of 140, they'll get 70% of their funds back. So 71 in, 49,500 back.
Okay.
And here we've got best case 160. They've put in 71. They'll get back 64,500. Like I said, there is a chance this could reach 170, but we'll keep it at 160 for now. But could you imagine how much of a difference that would make to your investment journey? Putting in £71,000, and upon refinance, this deal's only taken about 5 months from start to finish.
Oh, okay.
They're going to get, yeah. So they're going to get £65,000 back. They've put in 71. That's enough to pretty much do another investment, right?
Yeah.
So that's how people can really scale at speed by using BRI. And like I said, the client wouldn't have been able to do this themselves because they're based in London. Ourselves, we're all across the country doing this.
Okay.
So our network, our expertise, and our experience really comes to light when we're able to get these kind of results for our clients. Here's a similar transaction that I'm doing. This one's currently going through legal. This is a really simple project for an investor. 2-bed terrace house. We're just going to modernize it. We've managed to secure this for a really good price, just £46,000, and this is in fairly decent condition. Right, so here's the layout here. The reason I know this is going to work really well for the client is because she's on the lower end of the initial threshold. She was working with around about 60K, 50, 60K. Here is a picture of next door. So the reason I was able to obtain this was from an agent that we're working with in the area, because their next door is currently under offer. You can see very similar layout in terms of the floor plan. This was on the market for £95,000 and it has sold. So that should be completing in a few weeks. So when looking at the financials for this particular, can you see this spreadsheet, Quasi?
Yeah, I can.
So realistically speaking, I know this property is going to get a valuation of about 90 to 95,000, but maybe even a little bit higher.
Yeah.
The refurb's not going to be as extensive because we're not doing a 2 to 3 bed conversion. All we're realistically doing is going to move the kitchen into the dining room, have this as a utility space, modernize bathroom, fresh lick of paint in the hallway, strip out the wallpaper in the lounge, and ceiling, fresh plaster, new paint, new carpets, and also bring the upstairs up to scratch, and obviously just make it look really attractive from a design perspective. So it's not as large of scale works compared to the one I just showed you. But in terms of the numbers, they work really, really well. £46,000 purchase, 7K in fees, including auction fee of 3K, legal cost, valuation, brokerage, plus £1,000 miscellaneous in case anything pops up. Here's the bridging cost, and then the refurb's been estimated at £25,000. The investor is going to be putting in £50,000, £51,000 into this deal. At a revaluation of 85,000, they're going to get 57% of their funds back. So they've put in 51, they're going to get back 29. this is the worst case. Realistically speaking, I know because next door has sold 95,000. This is definitely going to hit higher than this. So even at £90,000, the investor would get 65% of their funds back. So 51 in, 33 back. And at this level here, the investors put in 51,000, revaluation of 95,000. They're going to get 72% of their funds back. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Yeah. So what do you think of a deal like that, Quasi?
Yeah, that's a good deal.
What more do you have leaning towards the one that you'd need a bit more capital to start with, the £70,000 one, or is this one more suited to you?
The 74 or 70, is it £71,000? Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, these slightly better end values. And lastly, I thought I'd just show you quickly a project we're doing in-house. It's a HMO conversion in Bromley.
Yeah.
This is for Previn. I think this would be a good fit.
Sure.
In terms of what you might be interested to see. Cool. So this is a project that we're working on in Bromley. We're doing a double-story side extension, and at the back as well. It's going to be turned from a family dwelling into a six-bed, six-ensuite HMO with 4 kitchenettes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in terms of this project, there's one we have just down the road, but this is just giving you an indication of our kind of experience in terms of what we're doing. This was purchased for 450. The refurb is going to cost 220, and the end value is going to be 900 to 1.1 million.
Mm-hmm.
So this will see a huge amount of funds back. Each room, some of them are essentially studios, one with a private garden. So the rental income, you'd be looking around about £7,500 per month. So just to give an indication of where it started with the project, this is before things really kicked off. And this, so we've managed it. So I'm the project manager for this particular site. As you can imagine, a few challenges have popped up. A few challenges have popped up along the way. We had small issues with the roof that we had to resolve. But in terms of how it's looking at the moment, we've just plastered all the internal. So all the partitions for the en-suites, and right now we're just about to move on to the woodwork. And then we'll be fitting in the kitchens, etc. But the first fix plumbing, the first fix electrics, it's all been done. Plastering's just drying. The team's back on site Monday to fit the woodwork, so the door frames, architraves, skirting, and then we'll be fitting out the kitchen and the rest of it. So yeah, we've got one just down the road that is valued at 1.1 million. So we're very confident. And when I say just down the road, on the same street and about 50 doors away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions on that one, Pravin?
No, not really. No. So, but then well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to convert 6 rooms, but there not be a parking problems. Yeah.
So with a HMOs, so it's going to be pretty much London based. So we are going to put some space on the front for parking if required. Local residents will get permits as such, but if you notice, because it's a London HMO, most people in London don't commonly drive as much. Obviously, public transport is a bit more common.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where is it you're based again? You say
Maidenhead.
Maidenhead.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Not a problem. So, do you have any questions on any of the deals that I've showed you thus far?
No. I'd be very interested to do something as such. Yeah.
I'll just show you, just to give you. Can you see this PDF?
Sure.
So just to give you a brief indication, so this is the kind of work that we do.
Mm-hmm.
So we do pretty much the entry point with the single lets, but then we've got some impressive like 6-bed HMOs, double story side extensions, commercial conversion. So we do cover a range of projects, a range of offerings. We've got something for everyone if you are an investor that needs this kind of result. Obviously, these ones, given your circumstances, you've done one, you refurbed it yourself.
That's right.
These ones are a little bit more audacious, so they do come with a lot of headache, like party wall agreements, even down the construction side, the cavity wall, the certain mill that it has to be working with building regs and the rest of it. A lot does come up in these kind of larger scale projects. Yeah, so that's more what you'd be looking to do.
Indeed.
Yeah, so for those kind of projects, it is more capital intensive. I'm sure you kind of set yourself up to do that then.
Sorry, could you repeat yourself?
So the larger deals are naturally more capital intensive. Obviously, the entry point's around about 50 to 70K, but to do more larger scale HMO, you'd be needing circa 100, 130, 150, 90 to 1, that kind of range.
Right. Okay.
So I'm assuming if that's what you're looking to do, you've set yourself up in a way in which that's possible.
Yes.
Yeah. So here's more case studies, but I thought it was better to show you just from a live deal perspective of what I'm doing right now, rather than just showing you the case studies we're writing on the screen. Has that been better for you two to digest it that way?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, cool. So that's what we do. So I'm just going to explain briefly now the service, but I wanted to just make sure, is there any questions you currently have?
Nothing that comes in my mind at the moment. I'm sure there will be questions later on.
Yeah, if what might be best is at the end I'll be giving you the opportunity to book in a call with me directly.
Okay.
So if you have any questions that you wanted to ask, not on a recorded call, you need a bit of advice or guidance or strategy that we can set up.
Okay.
We can have a conversation.
Yeah.
So in terms of the service itself, how it works, we do have different tiers of services that we offer. And if you notice into these case studies, all our fees and the additional fees, construction is all accounted for.
Yeah.
So if you're you're buying your first home and you need assistance with that, that service starts from 5K. Residential buy to let, so BRR, starts from just £10,000 plus a 5% project management fee. A lot of project management we notice is usually 10% plus, so very competitive. And in terms of the service we offer, it is fully comprehensive from power team, traveling to site, managing the project, being there regularly, checking up on the builder. So fully end to end to helping you raise funds if required, putting you in touch with our finance partners. So really good value for what we're offering, for sure. And same with the service accommodation, same price point, starting from just 10K. Care home, supported living, and HMO is from 15,000 with a 5% project management fee. And in commercial conversion, the largest scale projects that I've showed you, so converting the 15-bed HMO or the other commercial building that I highlight, that starts from just £18,000. And obviously, the great thing about the value that you get from the HMO commercial conversion side of things or care home is you get such a significant level of your funds back from the refinance, and you're essentially creating an income that rivals a person's annual salary.
Yeah.
So people usually, if you wanted to, you could have just one and be happy with how much benefit that would add to your life.
Sure.
In terms of the timeline of the service, we typically between 6 to 12 months, depending on what you're doing.
Okay.
So we would be initially collecting your data. So let's imagine you decided, yeah, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking to do big scale projects, or quasi, I'm looking to do a BRR, but it's 200, 300 miles away, and it's just not going to be feasible for me to do that. Same with you, Previn. We could look for a project, in Greater Manchester, in Yorkshire, or etc. Decide to move ahead. We get the contract signed, invoices settled. I'd be collecting your basic information, so bank statements, proof of address, etc., etc. The usual stuff, passport copy.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have your tailored strategy set out from our strategy sessions about what we're going to do moving forward. And obviously, your input is very important into making sure that we're doing something that's very viable and in line with what you want. My role as a consultant is to help you be realistic. So say if you had funds for a conversion or a HMO that is more possible further north, so like the Midlands or northeast, northwest, for example, I would then have to give you an element of realism that, you know, your desire to be in London isn't financially possible for you. Let's look elsewhere. That's where you're going to get your objectives met, but it's in line with what you currently have. So we work together to get the strategy correct. You send me over all your information. We then start going out looking, typically finding a deal. It could be as quick as just a few weeks, could take 1 or 2 months just to make sure we get the right one. We get you through the legal process, financing process, set you up with our finance partners. Obviously, make sure your limited company set up and everything's in order. The refurbishment, depending on scale, the one I'm doing right now in Bromley, the HMO, that looks like it will be finished this month, so September basically. We're hoping. I've been working on that since April time, just before April, so it's not been incredibly long. Obviously, the one that I'm doing in the northeast that I showed you earlier too, that was purchased in around a similar time, April-ish. We're about to finish up on that next week.
Okay.
And then the refinance and rental process. So this is like the worst case of what it would be. About 12 months at the top end, really. For a commercial conversion, it might go slightly longer depending on the complexity of the deal. But if you're doing HMO, this timeline or single let, 6 to 12 months is where you'd be expecting to get your result, the refinance, and also your rental. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen, and whilst we're on the call together, it'd be good to get any questions from yourself, Previn, and yourself, Quasi.
Well, I'm all right for the time being, but as I said, there'll be plenty of questions as I digest more and more into the strategies and how it works. There'll be more and more questions coming. So for the time being, okay, fine with what you told me.
Not a problem. What I would recommend them, is that what we do is there's no questions as such. Quasi, do you have any questions?
Same as Provin said, as time goes on, I'll digest into the strategies and then come up with my questions. So, like you said, you were up for a one-on-one call. So should I get any questions, I'll call you. So just
what I will do, would you both like to book in a call with me per one-to-one to discuss this further?
Yeah. For me, I would like to.
Okay, and what about yourself, Previn?
Yes, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm just gonna get a link sent into the chat where so Solomon has put a link into the chat where you can book in a call into my calendar directly, and so is Young. You can book into book a call into my calendar directly, and we can have a conversation about your tailor-made investment strategy and how we can make something happen.
Okay.
Okay, great. Well, look, this was a very service-based masterclass. It wasn't for the education. Again, what we do here is help get the result. So it was brief, it was concise, and I was just showing you the actual deals that we are doing. We've actually got Maxine on the call, we've helped her build her portfolio as well. So Maxine's a very interesting one. She's a mentee, but she's also worked with us on a service level as well. She herself, you can see, I can send you videos of her on our YouTube as well. She went from having no properties in her investment portfolio to now being in her 60s in just a few short years, probably about 3 years, having a portfolio valued at £1 million. one of her projects, we did it in a very similar area to the one I showed you, in which we converted a 2-bed to a 3-bed, so roughly in and around the same region. We did the same thing on her property there. We put an ensuite in a master bedroom. All the agents told us it wouldn't make a difference, but it made such a big difference because we had a worst case valuation of 130, mid case forecasted at 140, and best case forecasted at 150. Her revaluation was 145, and she received 80% of her invested funds back to go again for her next one. So it's good to see Maxine still turning up to see what we're doing here. But if there's no further questions, I'll just give it one or two more minutes. If you've got any more questions, please feel free to ask. Or if it's better for you, book a call directly into my calendar, and we can have a conversation in a bit more detail about HMO and commercial conversions for you, Previn, or single lets, single buy BRRs for you, Quasi.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So the link's in the chat. Have you both seen it?
Yeah, I've booked mine.
Amazing. I look forward to speaking with you. And you too, Previn. Have you seen it as well? I believe. Would you like me to? Because I believe we'll have your email and phone number in our database. Are you happy for me to just reach out?
Okay, yeah, that'd be great if you could.
Yeah, sure. Do you want to speak after this call? Is that good for you?
Well, look, if you could just send me your link, and I'll message you, and then we can link up again. Because
yeah, I can also send it to you on WhatsApp.
I'm sure there shall be many questions that I probably want to.
Yeah, let it digest, and we'll set up a call then imminently.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
All right.
Excellent.
Hello, Smile. Yeah, yes. Are you going to send the video of the woman you're talking about?
Yes, and the YouTube link. Yeah, of course. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, Quasi. What is your last name, Quasi?
My last name is Sarkodie.
DIE.
Yeah.
Oh, if you want, do you want to just put your chat in the email, your email in the chat, and then I can just send it over to you on email.
Okay.
Yeah. So just put your email in the chat just to make sure, and then I'll get the details across to you.
Yeah, I've done that.
Amazing. So look, I'll take a note of that, and I'll send you over relevant information, and then we've got a call booked in anyway.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, great to see you on this morning.
Thank you very much.
I look forward to having a conversation with you both in further detail.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks
All right.
again.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.